Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here, and today I had a special request from Victoria because she had purchased the artistic wire writing system a few years ago and had misplaced the instructions. So I actually ordered another one because I also had misplaced my instructions, and on the back there are the charts with all the letters and how to form them with the pegs. And so what I'm going to do today is to show you guys how to make the words thank you to put on a greeting card. And if you purchase the kit, of course, it'll come with all the instructions. And I also have the templates for the words that I have made and the master templates for the letters and some blank templates that you could create your own words. And I will link those up in the description below the video. Here's the greeting card with the word thank you on it, and I'm going to link up a playlist of watercolor tutorials from my art channel that you can use for backgrounds, and I'll link up another tutorial where I did the words love and fabulous. Here's the setup for the jig. I will link up the templates in the description below the video, and basically you use the wire writer pen which is loaded with some 24 gauge wire, and you are going to go around the pegs and just rotate the jig if you need to access the pegs better. And we're just going to slowly go around, and you can straighten out the wire as you go as needed, and you are just going to very slowly go around those pegs, pulling the pen as you go to straighten the wire, looping around the pegs, pushing with your thumb and finger as needed, and just wiggle the pen around. You can kind of rotate the position of the writing pen, and we're just going to very slowly go around those pegs. So there's the H. The A is a little tricky. We're going to go up over the larger peg, loop it around a small peg, pinch it in a bit if you need to, and then we're going to go back over that round peg and then back up again. It resembles a cursive lowercase a. So bring it around that same peg and then bring it down and around a couple of the pegs. And then we're going to go up over the next one for the N, and then down and up. So it's like drawing in cursive. You can follow the peg configurations on the package, or you can choose your own pegs depending on how you want the letters to look. We're going to bring it around, and then we're going to need to do the K. Push down on the wire if it's coming off the pegs, bring it straight up, pull the wire so there's no slack, up over the top of the K, bring it down, around the bottom, and then we're going to form that little loop in the middle of the K. So just bring it around. That's the second to smallest peg. Push it as you need, and then up over the peg on the left and down. So it really looks like a cursive K. And so now we're going to make our way over to the next letter. You could always clip the wire and start again, but I'm just going to go with the same wire, and I'll end up cutting them apart to put the words on two separate lines. So here's the capital Y, bring it around and down, and work our way over to the O, give it a little push and up, and then the O has a little niche out of it, so it resembles as the cursive O. So we're going to bring it around that little peg, and then we're going to squish it underneath that little peg, and that just gives the little impression of the cursive O. And then going over to the next one,
I decided to use a larger peg for the U to make it a little fuller. Like I said, you can experiment with the pegs. We're going to bring the wire up and around and down. So that's it for the jig work, where we have thank you, and then we need to remove it from the jig. So just carefully remove it. You may want to keep this configuration and make a few so you have a collection of thank you cards. We're just going to pull it off the jig. These pegs don't have little plugs underneath them, so just go carefully. So there's our words. They might be a little bit wonky, so at that point you can go in and squeeze them. You can also use a slightly thicker wire if you want and just work right off the roll of wire, or you can make your own little bobbin to go on the wire writer gadget. So we'll just push those letters in a little bit. You can go in with your nylon jaw pliers, squeeze them down a little bit. Do any little adjustments you need with your fingers or with the nylon jaw pliers, and just make it as even as you wish. It's nice that it's very whimsical. It's not perfect. It's a really nice effect. So just keep squeezing and then push a wire back at the first letter. This is the part that's going to go into the paper to hold it on the card. So at either end, you need to bend the wire back at a right angle. And then you'll do the same with the other letter. You'll see I cut them apart. So bend the wire back on a right angle. And the same on the other side. Hold it with the flat pliers and push it at a nice sharp right angle. And you can go in again and push the letters a little closer together if you need. Do your little last minute adjustments. It's quite flexible because the wire is quite thin. So here's a watercolor card that I previously painted. You can paint your own. You can use scrapbooking paper. You can use wallpaper samples. There's anything that you can use your imagination to use as a background. And then we want to poke the paper where the ends are going to go. You see I flipped the paper so it's backwards on the back, but on the front it's going to be frontwards. So we're just doing this on the back of the painting, poking it, and then you'll see when you flip it, you bring the piece to the front. And it'll be in the right position. And then you have to push the wires in to hold in place. You can clip it if it's too long. And then we're going to put the other one in there. Just poke the ends into the holes you've pre-made in the paper. And then we're just going to push those ends in to hold it in place. So there's our word on the background. Adjust it as you need. And then I glued it onto a cardstock, but first I just chose the color. I just saw which color was the best. You can get this cardstock at Michael's. I'll link it up below the video. I decided to go with the green color. I just used hot glue to put it on. You can use two-sided tape. And there you go with the finished card and the word done with a darker wire. You can get the templates in my Etsy DIY shop. Be sure to use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase 5 or more templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my shop.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.